All right, so today we're going to be looking at chapters 2 and 3 of Choices by Shauna Nix.
Oh, yeah.
And, you picked a really fascinating read. I think
Yeah.
it explores, family dynamics and personal choices and even like destiny maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool how she uses her own family's story
Right.
to kind of explore these big questions.
It's a very clever approach.
Yeah.
Because, chapter 2 throws you right into her childhood.
Right into.
She's one of 8 kids,
Oh, wow.
4 boys and 4 girls,
Okay.
all pretty close in age.
Okay.
But she makes it very clear.
Yeah.
It's no Brady Bunch.
Right. No, this is not like an idyllic,
Right.
perfect family.
Yeah, there's lots of sibling rivalry,
Yeah.
teasing competition.
Yeah, for sure.
But underneath it all, you still get this sense of like deep love and support.
Yeah, there's like that saying, isn't there? Like, you can pick on your family, but nobody else better try it.
Exactly. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can tease your own.
Yeah.
But God help anybody outside the family.
Right.
Yeah, it tries to do the same thing.
Totally.
And Nick's being stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Different in looks and how she learned
Yeah.
adds like another layer to that whole dynamic.
Yeah. I can see how that would.
Which kind of sets us up perfectly for
Yeah.
this pivotal moment in her life.
Okay.
The 5th grade spelling bee.
Ooh, the 5th grade spelling bee. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens there?
So her teacher actually replaces her,
Oh, wow.
convinced that she's going to fail.
Like, she's not gonna.
Yeah, just like you're not good enough.
Wow.
You're gonna mess this up for us.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put somebody else in.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
I bet that's something you carry with you. Being underestimated like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, like that would stick with you.
Big time.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how these like seemingly small events
Yeah.
can have such a profound impact.
Yeah.
Nix talks about how this experience really ignited this fierce determination in her
Uh-huh.
to prove everyone wrong.
Oh, yeah. To be like, I'll show you.
Yeah. It's like, watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
I'll
gonna
show you what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can almost feel that shift happening for her,
Totally.
right? Like a real turning point in the book.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It makes me think about those defining moments in my own life,
Yeah.
the ones that really kind of shaped my direction.
Yeah, those forks in the road that you
Yeah,
come
it's
to.
like, okay, which way do I go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something
Yeah.
just small can just totally send you in a different direction.
Yeah, that's what's so powerful about Nix's writing, I think.
I
Like,
agree.
it really prompts you to reflect on your own experiences
Mhm.
and connect with those kind of universal themes of choice and resilience.
Yeah.
And that's where Mrs. Calico comes in, right?
Yes. The Scalco.
Her 6th grade teacher
Yeah.
who becomes this incredible mentor figure.
Huge mentor.
Huge.
Yeah.
In her life. Yeah.
Mrs. Calico is fascinating to me.
Yeah. Nix goes to stay with her.
Right.
And suddenly she's exposed to this completely different way of life.
Yes.
Financial stability.
Yep.
A career focus.
Yeah.
A deep value for education.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a whole new world opens up for her.
Absolutely. It's like you can see her eyes opening
Yeah.
to this whole other way
Yeah.
that life could be.
It's more than just the material differences too, right?
I think so.
But Mrs. Calico really embodies
Right.
a particular set of values
Yeah.
and aspirations.
Totally. And remember how Nix talks about Mrs. Calico's passion for reading
Yeah.
and how she instilled that love of learning in her?
Uh-huh.
That's the seed of ambition being planted right there.
Right. It's like she gave her this little seed
Yeah.
to take and grow.
And she took it and she ran with it.
She did.
She did. So
Yeah, it's like Mrs. Calico gave her this glimpse of what better could look like, not just in terms of like possessions,
Right.
but in terms of like mindset,
Yeah.
a way of approaching life.
It's like a whole different way of thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And that sets the stage, I think, for chapter 3,
Yeah.
where we see the contrast
Okay.
between Nix's successes.
Yeah.
College advanced degrees,
Mm-hmm.
a comfortable life.
A good life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stable life.
Yeah, stable life.
Yeah.
And then the challenges that her siblings are facing.
Yeah.
It's honestly heartbreaking reading about their struggles with addiction
Yeah.
and poverty and health problems.
It's tough.
It's really tough.
It is.
It's hard to read that stuff.
Yeah.
It makes you think about how much of our lives
Yeah.
is shaped by our decisions
Right.
versus, our circumstances.
Right.
Like, what's the balance there?
Are we a product of our environment, or are we making choices that
Yeah.
shape
Lead us down different paths.
the direction of our lives?
Yeah. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's the
Yeah.
question of the ages.
Really?
Yeah.
And she uses some really powerful examples that really stick with you.
Yeah, she does. Dibby,
Tibby.
the oldest,
Okay.
he's battling alcoholism
Okay.
and PTSD
Wow.
and finds solace in faith.
Oh,
He
wow.
becomes this devoted husband and church deacon.
Wow.
So that's a story of like redemption.
Yeah, finding your way,
Yeah, finding your
After
own.
going through something really hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then there's Junior.
Yeah.
Brilliant guy.
Okay.
Genius level IQ,
Wow.
but struggling with addiction
Mm-hmm.
and eventually ends up homeless.
Wow.
So it's like
What a contrast.
huge contrast.
Yeah.
And it's a stark reminder of how fragile life can be.
Yeah.
How even with immense potential choices
Yeah.
can have devastating consequences.
Yeah. And it's not just Junior.
Right.
Butch, who earns a doctorate,
Wow.
but loses everything to drugs and alcohol, really drives that point home, I think.
Yeah. Makes you really wonder.
Yeah. How much is predetermined? And how much control do we really have?
Yeah. Do we have any control
Yeah.
or are we just,
We'll be just along for the ride.
are we just a product of our
past.
our environment, our genes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you question the whole nature versus nurture debate, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember
Yeah.
that even amidst all these really heartbreaking stories,
Yeah.
Nix doesn't judge her siblings.
Right.
She sees them as inherently good people
Mm-hmm.
who made some bad choices,
Yeah.
which I think speaks volumes about her character
It does.
and her understanding of the complexities
Yeah.
of, addiction
Yeah.
and personal struggle.
It's not black and white, is it?
It's not black and white, no.
There's so much gray area.
Lots of gray.
Yeah.
It definitely challenges those kind of simplistic notions we often have about good and bad,
Right.
success and failure.
Yeah.
You see these individuals grappling with their demons,
Mm-hmm.
making choices that might seem baffling from the outside.
Yeah, you look at it and you're like, why would you do that?
Right.
But when you consider, their circumstance,
Struggles, yeah.
their struggles,
Mm-hmm.
it paints a much more nuanced picture.
Totally. Yeah, and that's where faith comes in.
Yeah.
I think
Gosh.
a central theme in Nix's narrative,
Yeah.
she talks about her strong faith from a very young age
Mm-hmm.
and how it's always been this driving force in her life,
Yeah.
shaping her choices and guiding her
Yeah.
towards a life of purpose.
She uses that phrase, I chose, so often.
She does.
Doesn't she?
Yeah.
It's like almost every other page,
Yeah.
I chose.
I chose.
It really highlights this belief in personal agency,
Totally.
even amidst, the toughest situations.
Yeah, even when things are really hard
Yeah.
and she's facing these incredible challenges,
Yeah.
she still says, I chose this.
It's like she's saying, yes, life throws curveballs,
Yeah.
but ultimately we have the power to choose how we respond and what direction we take.
We're not just victims of our circumstances.
Yeah.
We have agency.
We have a choice.
We do.
Yeah. And she doesn't shy away from the challenges of
Well,
reconciling
right.
personal choice with her belief in God's plan.
Right. Because that's a tough one.
Yeah. How do those two things work together?
Yeah. Where's the line?
Yeah. Where's the line?
How much of it's me?
Yeah.
How much of it's God?
Yeah.
And she introduces this really powerful analogy
Okay.
of choosing the right train.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
It's such a vivid image.
It is a great analogy.
It's a great analogy. Like
Yeah.
the idea of aligning yourself with God's plan
Uh-huh.
so your life journey is smoother.
It's the express train.
Yeah. You get to where you're going faster.
Yeah. You're not stopping at every little station.
You're not getting sidetracked.
You're not taking the milk run.
Exactly.
You're on the express train to your destination.
To your destiny.
Yeah.
It's brilliant because it speaks to that constant tension
Totally.
between free will and destiny.
Right.
Are we simply passengers
Are we just along for the ride?
on a pre-charted course?
Yeah.
Or are we actively choosing our destination?
Yeah. Are we in the driver's seat?
Yeah.
Or are we just sitting in the back?
Are we driving the train?
Yes.
Or are we just in the caboose?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
It is a great question, and there's no easy answer.
I
don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No. Makes you think about the choices we make every day,
It does.
Are we hopping on that express train to God's plan?
Right.
Or are we, taking the scenic route?
Yeah. Were we in sidetracked?
Yeah, we're getting a little sidetracked.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to discern, right?
No, it's not.
Like, which track is the right one?
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
And Nix doesn't offer like a simple answer,
Right.
which I appreciate.
Yeah.
It's more about that ongoing process of Listen,
Yeah.
reflecting,
Uh-huh.
and aligning your choices
Yeah.
with your faith
With what you believe.
and your values.
It's almost like trusting your gut, you know,
Yeah.
that inner compass.
The inner knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guides you towards what feels right, even if it doesn't always make logical sense.
Even if your brain is telling you to go the other way.
Yeah, exactly. But it also makes me think about the times in my life when I felt completely lost,
Uh-huh.
unsure of which direction to take.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever felt that way?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think those moments of uncertainty
Yeah.
are part of the journey.
They are? Yeah.
They force you to confront your doubts,
Yeah.
your fears,
Uh-huh.
and ultimately to dig deeper into what you truly believe and what you want your life to stand for.
It's like those detours sometimes
That's right.
lead you to unexpected destinations
Totally.
that are even more beautiful
Absolutely.
than the ones you initially planned for.
Way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it connects back to what Nix talks about later in the chapter,
Mm-hmm.
that power of surrendering to a plan
Right.
that's bigger than ourselves.
Bigger than us. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's recognizing that our limited perspective
Right.
might not always align.
We can't see everything.
Can't see the big picture
Yeah.
with God's grand design.
It's humbling, right?
It is, yeah.
Especially when you consider those seemingly simple desires
Uh-huh.
that Nix had as a child.
Yeah.
Becoming a teacher,
Right.
working for an airline, having 2 kids.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Living in Arlington.
Yeah.
It's not exactly, grandiose dreams of fame and fortune.
No private jets.
Right.
No mansions.
No.
No.
Yeah.
But that's precisely what makes it so compelling, I think.
Yeah.
Challenges our conventional notions
Yeah.
of success and happiness.
Uh-huh.
It's not about chasing after
Right.
external markers of achievement.
Not about the fancy car.
Not about the stuff.
Yeah. But rather finding fulfillment
Right.
in a life
Right.
lived in alignment with God's purpose for you.
Even if it looks ordinary from the outside.
Yeah, even if it looks really simple to other people.
It's about what matters, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about what's in here,
Yeah.
not what's out there.
Totally.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a time when
Right.
I thought I had it all figured out,
Yeah.
career, relationships.
What plan?
Everything seemed to be going according to plan.
Going swimmingly.
Right. But then life threw a major curveball.
Oh, boy.
And suddenly everything I thought I wanted
Yeah.
shifted.
Changed.
It took a lot of soul searching
Yeah.
to realize what I truly desired
Uh-huh.
was something completely different.
Wow. So you had to really go deep.
I had to go deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's such a powerful example of how our perceived plans
Yeah.
can sometimes clash with a greater purpose.
It's like I thought this is what I wanted,
Uh-huh.
but really this is what I needed.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's in those moments of disruption
Yeah.
when the ground beneath us shifts,
Like an earthquake?
like an earthquake,
Yeah.
that we're often forced to reevaluate our priorities
Right.
and listen to that deeper calling
Yeah. That's when you have to just be still and listen.
and just listen.
Yeah. It's almost like those unexpected detours become opportunities
They do.
for
Yeah.
growth and transformation.
Absolutely.
They lead us to a place
Yeah.
where we can more fully embrace the path that's truly meant for us.
The path that we were meant to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the central question
Okay.
that Nix seems to be grappling with
Right.
throughout these chapters.
Mm-hmm.
How do we balance our own choices?
With the belief in a preordained plan.
Yeah. Is it about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where free will and destiny intersect?
It's a fascinating question, isn't it?
It is a fascinating question. Like, how much of our lives are we actually in control of?
Yeah.
And how much is already laid out for us?
Yeah. And do we even want to know?
Right. Like, do we want to know what's going to happen?
Do we want spoilers?
Yeah. Do we want spoilers?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe we just need to enjoy the ride.
Maybe we just need to enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
It makes you think about those pivotal moments
Yeah.
where you've had to make a choice
Uh-huh.
that felt like it could change the course of your life.
Like a fork in the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the impact those choices have,
Oh, yeah.
not just on ourselves,
Right.
but on those around us.
On our families.
Yeah.
Our
Our
friends.
communities.
Our
Remember how
community.
Nix emphasizes the
Yeah.
interconnectedness of our decisions?
Right. We're all connected.
The ripple effect they create
Mhm.
within our families and communities?
Like throwing a pebble in a pond.
Yeah.
Those ripples go out.
The ripples go out.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
that butterfly effect, right?
Yeah.
One small choice.
Can have a huge impact.
can have a cascading impact.
Yeah.
Setting off this chain of events
Right.
that we could never have predicted.
Yeah. You just never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it underscores the importance
Yeah.
of making choices
Of making good choices.
that are aligned with our values.
With what we believe.
Yeah, with our faith,
Mm-hmm.
with the kind of impact
With the kind of world
we want to have on the world.
we want to live in.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
To think about all that.
It's a big responsibility.
Every little choice.
But it's also incredibly empowering,
it is.
I think.
Yeah.
Knowing that each decision we make carries weight,
Yeah.
that we have the agency to shape our lives
Hmm.
and influence the lives of others.
Yeah.
It's a call to action, really.
It is.
To step into that power
To take responsibility.
with intentionality and purpose.
Yeah, be intentional
Be intentional, yeah.
about your choices.
Yeah.
So what are some key takeaways for our listener
Yeah.
as they kind of reflect on Nyx's journey
Mm-hmm.
and the choices that she and her siblings made?
Well, first and foremost,
Yeah.
I think it's about recognizing the power of choice,
Okay.
even in the face of adversity,
Even when things are hard.
even when things are really tough.
Yeah.
Nyx's story, and especially her siblings' stories,
Right.
really illustrate how our decisions have consequences,
Yeah, for sure.
both positive and negative.
Right. It can go either way.
It's a reminder that even when life throws curveballs,
Yeah.
we still have the capacity to make choices
We always have a choice.
that can lead us towards healing growth
Okay.
and a greater sense of purpose.
It's like that saying, you can't always choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you respond.
You can choose how you react.
Exactly.
Exactly. And it's in that response,
Yeah.
in that choice,
Right.
that we often find our strength and resilience.
Yeah, we learn and we grow.
We do. We grow through those challenges.
Yeah. It also makes you realize that judging others' choices
Ooh, that's a good one.
without understanding the full context of their lives
Right.
is rarely helpful.
Yeah. Put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, walk a mile in their shoes.
Yeah.
We all have our own struggles,
We all have our baggage.
our own demons to battle.
Doing stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes those battles lead us down paths
Yeah.
that might seem confusing
Right.
or even destructive
Uh-huh.
from the outside.
From the outside looking in.
Yeah, you look at it and you're like, why?
Right. What are you doing?
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
But there's always more to the story.
There's always more to the story.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to approach others with compassion and empathy.
Yeah, more compassion.
More compassion, less judgment.
Less judgment. Yeah.
Recognizing that everyone is on their own unique journey.
Yeah.
And that sometimes the most valuable thing we can offer
Yeah.
is not judgment,
Right.
but understanding and support.
Yeah. We all need that.
Yeah, we all need that.
Nyx's perspective on addiction, I think, is also really thought-provoking.
Yeah, it's interesting.
She doesn't see it as like this moral failing,
Right.
but rather as this complex struggle.
It's a disease.
Yeah.
It's a disease.
That can trap even the most brilliant and talented individuals.
It doesn't discriminate.
No, it doesn't.
No.
She talks about her brother, Junior,
Yeah.
who had this genius-level IQ.
Right. Incredibly smart guy.
Yeah, but couldn't escape
I couldn't escape.
the clutches of addiction. It
Yeah.
makes you realize that addiction doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't.
It can impact anyone,
Anyone.
regardless of their background, their
Yeah.
intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
their potential.
Their potential. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that saying, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
It's not about excusing harmful behaviors,
Yeah.
but rather understanding the underlying pain and trauma
The root of it.
that often fuel them.
Yeah. Where's it coming from?
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that addiction is a disease.
Yeah.
A complex interplay of biological, psychological, and
complicated.
social factors,
Yeah.
and that those who are struggling with addiction
Yeah.
deserve compassion and support,
Yeah.
not judgment and condemnation.
Not shame.
Not shame. Yeah,
We need to get rid of that shame.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ultimately, I think Nyx's story encourages us
Mm-hmm.
to embrace the mystery of life,
Yeah.
to trust that even when things don't go according to plan,
Right.
there's a greater purpose unfolding.
There's a bigger plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about letting go of the need
To control
to control every outcome,
everything.
to have all the answers.
You know how it all ends.
Yeah. And instead, surrendering to the journey,
Yeah.
trusting that even in the midst of uncertainty and challenges,
Mm-hmm.
We're being guided
We're being led
towards something meaningful.
to where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like she's saying that sometimes the most fulfilling paths aren't the ones we initially envision for ourselves.
Ones we think we should be on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about being open to the unexpected detours.
The scenic route.
The twists and turns
Yeah.
that lead us to places we never imagined we'd be.
Yeah, sometimes you end up in a better place
You do.
than you thought you were going to be.
And you ever could have imagined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's in those unexpected places that we often discover
Yeah.
our greatest strengths,
Okay.
our deepest passions,
Mm.
and a sense of purpose. It's far more profound
Yeah.
than anything we could have planned on our own.
Yeah, this deep dive has really taken us on a journey, hasn't it?
It has. It's been quite a ride.
From exploring the complexities of family dynamics
Yeah.
to grappling with the question of choice versus destiny.
Yeah, it's a big one.
That is a big one.
Yeah.
Nix's story has prompted us to reflect
To think about our own lives.
on our own lives,
Yeah.
our own choices,
The choices we're making.
and the paths we're forging.
Yeah. Where are we going?
Yeah, where are we going?
And it's not just about reflecting, right?
Right.
It's about actively engaging
Yeah.
in shaping our narrative,
Taking control.
making choices that align with our values,
Mm-hmm.
our faith,
With what we believe.
and the kind of impact we want to have on the world.
Yeah.
It's about stepping into our power
Yeah.
as creators of our own destinies,
We are creators.
while acknowledging that there's a greater force guiding us along the way.
It's like a dance, isn't it?
It is a dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thank you.
So, as we move towards wrapping up our deep dive into Sean and Nix's choices,
Okay.
what's one final thought-provoking question
Okay.
you would leave our listener with something to really mull over
Okay.
and explore further?
Yeah.
Maybe even spark some self-reflection?
Okay. I think I have one.
I love that it's like we're co-creating our lives with something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
But that brings me to something I've been pondering this whole time.
Okay.
Nix talks about aligning with God's plan.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we actually know what that plan is?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
It's something I think a lot of people wrestle with.
Yeah.
Does it come like in a blinding flash of inspiration?
Right.
Or is it something we uncover gradually
Yeah.
through trial and error?
Maybe it's a bit of both, right?
Maybe.
Sometimes you get those clear signs, those moments of synchronicity
Right.
that feel like the universe is pointing you
Like the stars are aligned.
in a specific direction.
Yeah.
But then there are those times when you're
Totally.
just stumbling through the fog,
Yeah.
trying to figure it out as you go.
Trying to find your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that resonates with me.
Yeah.
It's like learning to trust that inner compass,
Okay.
that quiet voice within.
Uh-huh.
That kind of nudges you towards what feels right,
Right.
even if it doesn't always make logical sense.
Yeah, even if your head's telling you something different.
Yeah, your head and your heart are at war.
Yeah.
It's about being open to the possibility
Okay.
that God's plan might unfold
Yeah.
in ways we never expected.
Like those twists and turns we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
The ones that lead to unexpected destinations.
To a better place.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the beauty of it,
Yeah.
not knowing exactly where you're going,
Right.
but having faith
Think that you'll get there.
that you'll end up
Yeah.
exactly where you're meant to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for Nix,
Yeah.
a big part of that journey is about listening to that inner voice.
That inner knowing.
Observing the patterns and
Okay.
synchronicities of her life.
Yeah. Paying attention
Yeah, and making choices
to those little clues.
that feel aligned with her faith and values.
Right. Doing what feels right.
Yeah, it's like becoming a detective
Yeah.
of your own life.
Of your own life. Yeah.
Looking for those clues.
Looking for those breadcrumbs
Those subtle signs that are pointing you
that are pointing you in the right direction.
in the right direction.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes it's about taking a leap of faith,
Sometimes you just got to jump.
even when you're not entirely sure where you'll land.
Yeah. And trust
Trust that the net will appear.
that the net will appear.
Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
Thank you.
It's about having the courage to follow your heart,
To follow your gut.
to trust that inner knowing,
An inner wisdom.
even when it leads you off the beaten path.
Off the well-worn path.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe that's where the most incredible adventures lie.
Maybe that's where the magic happens.
Maybe so.
So as we wrap up this deep dive
Okay.
into Shonal Nix's choices,
Choices.
what's one final nugget of wisdom
Right. Let me see.
you'd offer our listener,
Okay.
something to carry with them as they continue on their own journey
Mm-hmm.
of choices and self-discovery?
I would say this.
Okay.
Embrace the power of choice.
Recognize that you have the agency to shape your life,
Okay.
even amidst circumstances you can't control.
You can't control
You
everything.
can't control everything.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Trust your intuition.
Okay.
Listen to that inner voice that guides you towards what feels right.
Right.
And remember,
Yeah.
sometimes the most fulfilling paths are the ones you least expect.
The ones you don't see coming.
So be open to the mystery.
Be open.
Embrace the journey.
Embrace it.
And have faith that you'll end up exactly where you're meant to be.
Beautiful words to end on.
Thank you.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
Thank you so much for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
And thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
We'll see you next time.